Once, in a small town nestled between mountains, there lived a young man named Amir. He came from a family with little money, but his parents had big dreams for him. They wanted him to become a doctor and live a life full of success and respect. Amir, an intelligent and ambitious boy, was determined to make their dreams come true, no matter the cost. From a young age, Amir studied hard. He would sit for hours, surrounded by piles of books, his eyes burning with determination. His parents, though struggling to make ends meet, always made sure Amir had what he needed to study. They sold their little house and moved into a smaller one, hoping to save money for his education. They sacrificed their comfort for his future. Amir knew this, and every day he carried their hopes with him. He worked part-time jobs, helping his father at the local shop while attending school. His life was a cycle of hard work and study, but he never complained. His parents' sacrifices fueled his passion even more. However, life is never as simple as it seems. Amir's dream of becoming a doctor was suddenly shattered one day when he received the news that his father had fallen seriously ill. A heart attack had taken him down in an instant. The news hit Amir like a storm. His world crumbled. The financial burden now fell entirely on his mother, who could barely make ends meet with her small job. The savings that had been put aside for Amir's education were now being used for his father's funeral and medical bills. Amir found himself in a place he never imagined, standing at the crossroads between his dreams and reality. But his mother was resilient. Despite her grief, she looked at Amir and whispered, "Don't give up on your dreams, Beta. We have lost your father, but we still have you. You are our hope." Amir wiped his tears and made a promise to his mother. He would work harder than ever before, no matter the odds. He enrolled in a local college, but the pressure of life weighed heavily on him. Juggling multiple jobs to support his mother and pay for his studies, Amir's health began to deteriorate. He would often fall asleep in class, his eyes red and swollen from exhaustion. But he kept pushing through, knowing that his mother's strength was the only thing keeping him going. Years passed, and the financial struggles continued. Amir's dreams of becoming a doctor were now only a distant memory. He realized he would never be able to afford the tuition fees for medical school, no matter how hard he worked. His grades, once excellent, began to slip as he struggled to balance work and study. He started to feel defeated, as if life was mocking him for daring to dream so big. One evening, after another long day of work, Amir sat alone in his room, exhausted and broken. His mother entered, carrying a warm meal. She looked at him with concern, but Amir didn't have the strength to smile. His heart ached with the weight of unfulfilled dreams. "Amir, Beta," his mother said softly, "I know you are tired, but we have come so far. Your father always believed in you. You must keep going. For him, for me." Amir looked up at her, his eyes filled with tears. "I don't know if I can, Amma. I've failed you. I've failed him. My dreams are gone." His mother knelt beside him and held his hand. "No, Amir. You haven't failed anyone. Life doesn't always go the way we plan, but that doesn't mean your efforts are in vain. You have done everything you could. The world may not always reward us the way we want, but your heart is what matters most. And you have the biggest heart of anyone I know." Amir sat silently, absorbing his mother's words. For the first time in years, he felt a glimmer of peace in his heart. He realized that even though his dreams of becoming a doctor were no longer possible, he had achieved something far more important: resilience, sacrifice, and love. He had fought every battle life had thrown at him with strength, even when everything seemed hopeless. Amir decided to give up on the dream of becoming a doctor, but he didn't give up on life. He enrolled in a simpler, more affordable course in business, which allowed him to support his mother and live a life of dignity. He found work at a local company, where his dedication and work ethic eventually earned him a position of respect. Though his path was different from what he had once imagined, Amir found fulfillment in helping others, something he had always wanted to do. Years later, as Amir stood in front of a small crowd at his company's annual event, he looked around at the people who had become his second family. He had worked hard, but he had also learned to cherish the small victories. He had learned that sometimes the most important thing in life isn't achieving our dreams, but how we handle the struggles and setbacks along the way. As he spoke to the crowd, his eyes filled with tears once again, but this time they were not tears of defeat. They were tears of gratitude. His journey had been long, filled with pain, loss, and heartbreak, but it had also been filled with love, resilience, and hope. "Life may not always go as we expect," he said, "but that doesn't mean it's not worth living. We are all capable of more than we think, and sometimes our broken dreams lead us to new paths, new purposes." Amir had learned to let go of the life he had once imagined, and in doing so, he had found peace. His mother, the woman who had supported him through it all, was sitting in the front row, smiling proudly. She knew that her son had grown not just in success, but in wisdom, strength, and love. And in that moment, Amir understood that the true victory wasn't in the dreams he had lost, but in the person he had become in the process.